Hello, welcome to Microsoft Dynamics 365 Financial Operation tutorial series. In this series, now we are talking about tables. In this specific video, we will talk about tables. First, we will understand what is tables, how to create tables, and all the related concepts related to tables in one particular video or in 10 minutes small video. For me, it will be not possible to cover all the topics. So I will break down the videos in small parts and will cover slowly each and every points of table, very specifically with concepts and hands-on experiences. So first we'll understand what is table, why table is important in case of Dynamics 365 Financial Operation. So without wasting time, let's start. First we'll understand that what is table in Dynamics 365 Financial Operation. The first point is saying that table contains rows and columns just like a spreadsheet. Here you can see a spreadsheet. It's nothing but a kind of table. So here you can give the headers, and this particular one, this one, this is the column, nothing but a column or field, or this first one, second one, third one, this one. These are rows of that table. So in Dynamics 365, tables are nothing but combination of rows and columns. Also, you can say that a table is a fundamental object that represents a collection of related data. Tables are used to store and manage data within Dynamics 365 Financial Operation. A table in Dynamics 365 is a similar to table in a traditional relational database. For example, MySQL or the SQL Oracle database, like same kind of database. So we can say that a table in Dynamics 365 is similar to a table in a traditional relational database, but with some specific features and some limitations that are unique to the D365 platform. Also, it have advantages over some relational database because we manage it in the Visual Studio itself. And when we create the table in Visual Studio and when we sync and build the database, when we sync the table, that time relational database will be created in Microsoft SQL Server. So in the backend, it actually works on Microsoft SQL Server. In Dynamics 365, a table consists of set of fields or columns that define the structure and the data types of the data that can be stored in a table. Each field represents a specific piece of data such as name, date, or monetary amount. The field in a table can be related to fields in other table through a variety of relationship, such as one to one, one to many, many to many. This kind of relationship they can have. In Dynamics 365, table can be created and managed through the Dynamics 365 development environment, such as the table designer, and we can use the Visual Studio to see the table design. Tables can be customized to meet specific business requirement by adding or modifying fields, by creating indexes, or defining the relationship with the other tables. And these tables in Dynamics 365 can be used in various areas of application, such as tables can be used to create forms, reports, workflows. Table can also be exposed to external system through the API or integration, and it allows for the data to be shared between Dynamics 365 FO application or other system which is not part of the D365 platform. It is the outside system or the external system. I hope now the concept that table contains rows and columns just like a spreadsheet, you understood this point. Now we'll move to the second point, that they are stored in a database and work together to deliver data to the user in outputs such as a form and reports. Now we'll go to the third point. Table can also contain metadata, which is descriptive data. Okay, and the descriptive data such as system settings, developers can modify existing table properties and components through the extension. This is very much important. We can change the component of the table, and we can also change the properties through extension. We can add fields to the existing table by extending that existing table, or they can be create a new table, and a developer can create a new table from the Visual Studio itself. So I'll show you how to create table later in this video. Now we'll go to the next point. The next point is saying that table are made of a field and which are organized into field groups. So I'll show you how this field groups actually looks like. The next point is an index can be created from fields within our table and aids in the data retrieval when data in one table is connected to another table, such as customer information that is spread across the multiple tables. You will create a table relationship between two tables, or you can create or join multiple tables together to bring the data, and you can use that data to show the reports, or you can show the data in the form itself. Now we'll go to the next point. While many system tables exist, it's important to know how to create new tables. So in the existing application, you will see many tables that is already exists. Okay, but in some specific scenario where you have to create new tables to meet the specific requirement, so for that you have to create new tables. Okay, and you should know how to create the new table and how to create field, so you can personalize the finance and operation app experience. And as you know, that table are added to a particular project to the Solution Explorer and Windows by right clicking on the project, and you can select the new item there, and you can modify these tables through the table designer and properties. Now I'll show the practical so that it will be easier for you how to create a table. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start how to create a table, new table, and I'll show you the system table which is already exist. Okay, now you can see that we are inside our development environment, and to create a new table you have to right click on the Visual Studio, and after that from here you have to create a new project, and now click on the create a new project. Then from here you have to select finance and operation, and now click next, and after that you have to give here the project name. So at this point of time I'm just giving as a project name example table example project. And if you don't know how to create a project, I have explained each and everything about a new project. You can see that video to gain more knowledge. Okay, now click on create. As you can see that our project is created. Now you can add your table in this particular project. Before that, in your mind one question can occur, that is there any specific prerequisites for table creation? So yes, to know about the table you should have understanding of the data types. Okay, also you should have the knowledge of the extended data type, otherwise you may stuck over here, or you may find some difficulties over here, that when we will create a field of a table, then you may think that why we are drag and drop this particular field over here or this particular entity over here. Okay, so there you may find few difficulties. For that I'll recommend you to see the videos of the data types, or specifically the extended data type. Now to create a table you just right click over here and then add, and then you can click new item, and from here you have to select data models, and from data models you can select table, and here you have to give the name of the table. So here I am giving the employee table, and it is best practice that when you are creating any particular object which is related to any specific organization, the best practice is that when you are working for Ansari Private Limited, that time you should use a prefix for table name. okay, so that it will be easier for you to understand this is not a system table or this is not a already existing table, but this is the customization, this is the customized table or a new table created for this particular organization. So that's why I can give answering as a prefix and then I can give my table name, for example employee table, okay, employee table, and after that you can click on the add button. So when you will click add, then this folder, particular folder tables will be created and your object, table object, will be added over here. If you will create one more table, then that particular table will be added in this particular folder. And when you will double click over here, you will be able to see here is the table designer. This is the table designer, and from this designer section you can see all the elements or all the nodes which is necessary for this particular table. So these are nothing but a node. There is a field node, there is a field groups, index, full indexes, full text indexes, relations, delete actions, state machines, mapping, fields, events. So we'll explain each and everything one by one. First we'll understand that what is field. Fields are make up the data in the table and can be base enumeration or extended data type, okay. So if you don't know about the base enumeration and about extended data type, you should know that. If you want to add over here, you can write, if you want to add fields, then you can expand this field, and already you can see that sys row version number is already present. It is a system defined field, no need to do anything. If you want to add your own field, then you have to right click over here. You can see that new is there and various types of data types are there. So from here you can select any types of field. If you want a string field, for example, if you want a employee ID, so that time you should select integer. If you want to name of the employee or employee name field, then you can click on this particular string, okay. If you will have some extended data type which is already created, you can also add that one also. So for example, here I'll add a EDT over here, new item, and then after that I'll go to the data type and here I'll select EDT integer, and from here I can give employee ID and then I can click add over here, okay. And I can use this particular EDT in our table field. For example, here you have to save this one, and if you'll view, click on the view and application explorer, from here you can search your EDT directly, okay. For example, employee ID, you can search directly. You can see that employee ID is showing here. So this employee ID and this employee ID is the same employee ID. You can directly right click over here. You can also add it in the project, but in our project it is already present, right? So from here you can directly drag and drop over here. So you can see that I can drag and drop here. So I just drag and drop over here. You can see that one particular field is added, and you can see that field integer employee ID is added, and you can change the name of the field over here, okay. For example, I am changing over here answering employee field. So directly you can change the name, but in the backend section you can see that it is referring this employee ID from here, okay. This is one process. You can keep it, or you can drag and drop it like this way. If you require it, you can take it. But I'll show you another process that your employee ID is present over here. Can I drag and drop from here also? So you can also drag and drop from this particular portion also. So you can drag and drop, and you can give the name of that particular field. For example, you can change the name over here. And one more important point here is that you have to give the help text for this particular field and the label ID. And if any other properties is required, you have to set that particular properties, okay. so it's very much important. You can add enum over here. For example, you can right click on the field and create new. Here you can see that enum is there. You can click over here and you can add that particular enum over here, and from this section enum you can select the enum type and you can specify your enum in this section. Okay, so this way you can add field, and I'll give the here gender over here, employee gender, and from here I can select gender. You can see there is a gender, male female is there. You can select, and this one is the system already existing enum. So how do I'll know that this is the system generated or existing enum? So for that you just copy the name of the enum and you can search it over here, and you can see that it is showing the gender male female and it is present in the application platform. That means it is a existing base enum. Okay, so this way you can add fields in your table. Now we will go to the next point, field groups. So if you expand the field group, you can see there is various types of field groups are there. Auto reports, auto lookup. In the field group you can see there are 5 different field groups are there. These are nothing but already created or already present field groups. You can use that. This one for the report, this one for the lookup, this one for the identification, this one for the summary, auto summary, this one for the auto browse. Other than that, you can also create your own group like this. You can right click on the field group and you can click on the new group. The new group will be created, and from this section you can give the name of your group. For example, employee details you can give, and you can drag and drop your fields over here. For example, you can drag and drop your fields over here, or you can select multiple by clicking on the control key, and you can drag and drop both at a single time. With this way you can create the field groups. So what is field group? Field groups are the logical groupings of the PTL database fields. Okay, and groups can be used on forms and reports, so that when a modification is made to the field groups, related objects are automatically updated to reflect the new content of the group. Now we'll know about index. Okay, index are a method for speeding up the retrieval of the data from a table. Now we'll make the separate video for index, how to create index, and there I'll explain each and everything for the index. Now we'll understand about relation. Relation defines how a table refers to records in other table. Also for this one relation we will create separate videos because different types of relations are there. Okay, we will explain it in the separate video. Also for the index also there are different types of indexes are there. We will create separate video for them. Okay, and there I'll explain about indexes, also relations. Also there are different type of delete actions are there. Okay, and different types of methods are there, different types of events are there. So we'll create separate videos for that. Now I'll explain now the delete action. What does it actually do? This node, delete action node, this node is used on the table that are upgraded from the earlier Microsoft X version. It is used to detail what should happen when a data in a related table is deleted. With Finance and Operation app, delete actions are specified on the properties of the table relation. Okay, now we'll understand about the state machine. This state machine enable you to perform state transition within the workflow without writing any additional code. These are primarily used with workflows. Now we'll understand about mapping node. With a map, you can associate a map field with a field in one or more tables. This enables you to use the same field name to access field with different names in different tables. Okay, so this is very much important. Again, this node also we'll understand about method in separate video, but at this point of time, for little explanation, you know that method are piece of code. You can write the code, piece of code that are added to a table that can be run when certain events or changes in the data occurs. Okay, so we'll explain each and every point about method in separate video. Also, just know about event, also event node. About the event node, events are also a piece of code, so that are raised as a preceding. There is a pre events and post event. Also we can say that preceding and succeeding operations around the base table. So we can write some code for succeeding events or for the preceding events, and we will see how we can use the event to increase the facilities and behavior of a table. Okay, and functionalities of the table we can see later. We'll see that later. Now I'll show you some tables which is already present in the existing application. So if we'll go to the data model, there in the table section you will be able to see various tables are available. If you'll go to the cast table directly, you can type it from your keyboard like CUST-TABLE. So you can see that cast table is here. If you'll right click over here, you can see the view designer. You can also see the code, or you can open it in the table browser. So I want to see it now, view designer. From the designer section, you can see that in our employee table you can see same nodes are available in cast table also. This is present in the sys layer, and it is our application suite is the model name, and you can see each and every node is available here. And if you will expand, you will be able to see various types and numerous types of fields are available over here. Okay, and if you want to see the field groups, you also able to see various types of fields are available for this particular cast table. Also there is various types of indexes are there. Okay, also you can see various types of nothing is there in the field full text indexes, but in the relationship you will be able to see various types of relation created over here. For the delete action, you will be able to see some delete actions also there. In the state machines, nothing is there. In mapping, you can see also different types of maps are available here. In the method section, you will be able to see different types of methods are available. If you want to see the code for this, you can click over here, and then you'll be able to see some code related to this particular method. Okay, so you can click over here and you can see. Also, if you'll go to the event, you will see various types of events are there, and you can, if you'll right click over here, you can copy that event handler. Okay, and also you can find the event handler also. So this is an example of the existing table. So here you can see different existing tables are there in the application suite model. You can expand this and you can understand, you can take a look and you can understand this table, what this table actually doing and what is the purpose. You can read it from the MSTN document itself to gather more knowledge for this specific types of table. Okay, now we'll go to that how to see our own table in the application. So for that you have to sync your table. How to sync table? You have to right click on the project, and there you can see synchronization table employee. There you just click over here and you will be able to see in the output section that it is executing or it is getting synchronized. So now you can see nothing is showing over here that our synchronization, how synchronization is happening, is there any error or not. To see that, you can click over view, and in the error list on the output you can see that one. So for that you have to click over here or Ctrl+Alt+O to open the synchronization window. So you can see over there database synchronization started. So it will take some time to synchronize your database, and after that you will be able to see the data, and before that you have to build your project. So you can see now that validation, database synchronization completed, and validation also completed. Okay, and after that you have to right click on the project and you have to build the project once again. So if you have not built it, then you have to right click and you can click on the build, and in this section you can see that build is started message is showing, and it will also take some time to build, and after that we can see our table. And remember that in this table we have not added many fields, that means we have added just 2 fields. So if you go to our table, you can see that in our table we have just added only 2 fields, but in real world scenario you may have to add many fields, more than 10, 20, 30 fields if it is required. But for practicing purpose and for teaching purpose, I am just showing only 2 fields, how to create a table. Okay, but in real case the number of fields can be increased. And now I am closing this cast table, also the code behind it, and I will not save anything for the cast table, and I will close this one also. And if you will go down, that our build process completed, and you will be able to see our message build completed like this. And remember that whenever after build process, if you want to add more field over here, that time whenever you will change something in your table, each and every time you have to sync your table, and after that you have to build your project, otherwise your changes will not reflect in the application. Okay, and after that when the build process and sync process will be completed, then after that you can see your data or your table. By right click on the table, you can see that open table browse option is there. You have to click over here to see your table, and it will open it in a browser. Now you can see that our browser is actually loading, and once it will take few seconds, and after that it will show the table. As you can see that after build and sync process, our project opened in a browser, and if you'll expand it, you can see that it is showing a particular link over here for the cloud version, and MI is the stable browser. And if you'll go in the right side, you can see that table name is answer is system table. So you can also change the table name here, and you can browse that particular table. Now we'll show you the fields that I have created over here. So first you can see that employee ID is there, and employee gender also there. There is another process that in that process also you can see the table, and you can create the data from this browser. But it is not recommended that you should create the data over here, but you should create a form for this particular table, and from that form you should have the insert, update, all the operations using that form. I already told that when you create a table, for that particular table, one physical database also there to hold this particular table, and that table is present in SQL Server Management Studio, or you can access the SQL Server and you can access the AX table from there. So let me show you that one. So for that one you have to search over here SSMS, and when you will search SSMS, you will be able to see Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio 18 over here, and you have to right click over that and just click run as administrator. And after that, SQL Server Management Studio 18 version will open, and from there you can see your data or all the tables. And after that, just click connect, and here you can see all the databases are there in the database folder, and all the related information which is related to SQL Server, all the things are present here. And if you expand the database, you can see 1x DB is there. You have to expand that DB, and from here you can see the tables here over here. and it is expanding because lots of tables are there inside it. And if you'll expand it, you can search your ansari employee table over here. You just select dbo.ansari over here. So if you'll click or write to search your table, you can see that ansari employee table is created over here, and you can see all the columns over here. So you can see ansari employee ID is there, and ansari employee gender also there. And if you want to write a query, you can also do that to see your data. So if you click on the new query, one query will be created, and from there you have to select the AXDB to specify your database, and you have to write the query over here to see the data. So for that, we know that select start from ansari employee, this one you can see. And if you click, if you have to give the start over here, and after that you can execute it, and you can see all the fields are showing here, but you can see no data is there. So you can insert the data using this form. So if you click over here, you can see that employee ID is 0, and from here you can select the masculine or feminine. Also you can create one more data. This time you can create one, and you can select feminine over here, and after that you can select. And if you'll go to the SSMS, and after that if you'll execute it again, you can see one data created. And if you'll go again over here, it's not saved. If you'll click one more, and this time we'll give 2, and after that select feminine and save it, and after that you just execute it once, you can see this one actually created. So to save it, you just have to do one more thing. If you click one more, the present data will be automatically added, and if you'll click over here, you can see 2 data. So it's actually lagging somewhere, but remember that if you click that create the data over here, and if you'll save it, so you will be able to see all the data in the SQL Server database. Actually the data is actually saving inside the SQL Server database. So it may lag somewhere, but for that reason it is best practice to create a form, and using the form you should use the insert, update, delete, all these kind of operations. Now you can see the 3 data over here. If you want to know more about the best practices for the naming convention of the table and the naming convention of the field, if you want that, you can write the comment that please create a video for the naming convention or the best practices for the field name or the table name, also for the field group name, index name, relation name, delete action name, best practices. You want that, you can write in the comment section. I'll try to create separate video for that if you are facing any issue. But still in this video I just cover few things for the best practices, but in the later videos we'll understand it in better way if it is required. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. I hope now it's clear what is table, definition of table, why we should use that, and all the notes related to table, how to create table, how to build, sync and see it in the front end, also how we can see the table in the database or SQL Server Management Studio. I also told that. So if you have any question, you can write it in the comment section. We will try to resolve. Thank you again. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.